I think I've definitely got lost in the sauce because I have like 3, 4 projects from the current knowledge that I have that I call it something shiny syndrome. You know, you have
Okay.
that great project that you want, that you've been thinking about it all day, you've been obsessing over it, and
Hmm.
then you start working on it. You get about like a week, a month in, and then the project's not as shiny anymore, right? And then
Yeah.
you come up with this other great idea, and you're just like, hey, I want to work on that, and then the process just repeats and loops. It's bothering me that I'm not taking it too seriously because like
Hmm.
as a kid I've always known I want to do interactive media. I want to do multimedia. Like that's been a thing for me. But it's just like to sit down and to do it hasn't been it's been a habit that I haven't built up properly because especially I feel like throughout my life if I don't do something it just get done. Like I just wait long enough and it'll get done.
I see.
So
I see.
now being in this situation, being, out here without a parachute, it's just like, well, there's not going to be any package drops for me to catch,
Right.
I got to do this all on my own. So
Well,
it's a little
question.
terrifying.
Yeah, reframe it like this in order to build that importance in your brain. It's like, how much do you love your woman?
Yeah.
How much do you love?
Right.
How long will she stay here and deal with this and struggle? And do I want to see my woman struggle like this? Because you have the ability. It seems
Mm-mm.
like you're talented in this area. You have a ton of ideas. A lot of projects are unfinished. Step one is, so what's your project of all the little unfinished ideas you have with the most viable outcome? And then that coder 0 to 100 course, obviously it seems like that's a ton of gold nuggets that could help you in that realm. That obviously
Mhm.
that's a big thing you need to do and you haven't done it. So once you kind of make the list of like priority number 1, 2, and 3, you need to start attacking that. So you need to finish the course, and to get the motivation to finish whatever that project is, you have to put the rest to the side. This will be idea for maybe 6 months later, a year later, 10 years later. We don't know when these will, crystallize into something in the real world. But for now, I need to pick the best idea I have, the one that's most viable and potentially the most profitable, and go balls in on that. No thinking about any other idea I have, nothing. You're just focusing on that one. You're going to develop this one fully, right? So that's essentially the two things you have to do in your brain right now. But the hardest part is finding the motivation to do this shit. So you kind of have a backup with Amazon. You kind of have a backup with this other company. Money's going to start flowing in now for 40 hours a week. That other company's already paying. It's kind of inconsistent, but you just solved the inconsistency problem. Good. That's progress. But understand that underneath all this, you have something absolutely amazing. You have a woman that's willing to take care of you while you right the ship. Bro, it's all riding on you. She's doing this temporarily. She can't withstand much more of this shit. We're drawing down her fund. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right? There's a time limit on all this shit, and you have the fucking gift to get this done. I can spell out your future for you if you want me, and this is exactly the path you're going to go down. You're going to keep fucking off and doing the bare minimum, but it's good enough to keep you consistent in the lifestyle you guys have now, but it won't be enough to take the next step that she will ask you for, and that's a family, and that's marriage, and that's like a real legacy, which is what you're going to want, because women, she's investing in you right now. That's essentially what she's doing, but she's going to want you to invest back into her by showing you're going to step up, be a man, and be able to take care of the family. Bro, you have it. You have ingredients. Start cooking with them. It's like, I know, if you were to go 100% balls deep on this shit, it would succeed for you if you really wanted to. It's just build that, I guess, fear in your mind, that dread of like, if I don't get my shit together, bro, I'm going to lose this girl. That's a main motivator for men, women. What happens if I lose this woman? Now I'm going to be alone and struggling. She's already footing the bill for a bunch of shit. You guys are splitting bills, dude. That's incredible. You know how far you can get when you have another person that has a great income that's helping you with all that shit, cost of living? That's fucking maddening, dude. Yeah, you're giving up on this. Every single day you choose not to do that shit because you got time, right? Right now, at least. When you start Amazon, that's 40 hours a week you're going to lose. But still, like you say, when you come home, you can find time. A couple hours work for that company, and then boom, I'm dedicate the next couple of hours to getting my skills up, that 0 to 100 course, or finding out which one of these ideas I really want to, flesh out. Truly, the alternative, bro, is going to be fucking nightmare scenario. You might end up back with your parents. You're going to end up being fucking depressed. It's not the same when you don't have your woman by your side. Then you're going to start thinking, well, what's the point? Why should I even fucking try and all this shit? Because if you're struggling now and you already got a woman, imagine the fucking motivation loss you're going to have when you're alone and you got nobody to really work for. You got nothing to live for.
Yep.
You're back with your family. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, there's a lot of men that have taken that path. It can get dark real fucking quick. Just like you said, you don't realize how good you have it. You really have to drill that in your brain. Like that should be the first fucking thing you think of when you wake up. I really don't know how good I have it. Like, get the fuck up. When that laziness, the procrastination, wherever it's fucking stemming from, you have to shut it down like manually and just out loud. You don't know how fucking good you have it. I can't lose what I have. Don't even allow your brain to do that thing. Subconsciously start thinking up bullshit and making you procrastinate. You have to manually override everything and just say it out loud. I'm running out of time. I got too many good things going for me. Shut the fuck up and boom, and just walk forward. Do what it is that you need to do. You have to mentally hack yourself like this. You've been raised in a household that soft may be a word that we want to use. Sheltered may be a word that we want to use. It doesn't matter, dude. You had good parents and a good life, and they may have sheltered you too much and not let you make mistakes or whatever the fuck it is. But now you're on your own with your woman, and that stopgap that they've provided for you, the netting, is no longer there. The problem is you subconsciously know that if everything fails, I could always go back to family. You know what I mean? They may have told you, you making a mistake leaving, you're doing all this, but family never turns their back on you. If you were really destitute like that, your girl leaves you and you may end up on the street, family will welcome you back. You have to make that not an option.
I do have two questions. The first one, in the back of my head, like something keeps telling me that, like, before I do any of this, I need to start some kind of physical regimen or something like that. And I honestly have no idea where to start. Do I start jogging? Do I do push-ups? What do I do? And at what time do I do them? I keep thinking I got to do it at like in the morning, like, wake up in the morning, go for a jog. But like, I've never really done any physical thing. The closest thing I've ever done physically as a kid was martial arts, and that was it. And then the second thing I wonder is, how do I journal? Like I've started my journal, but it's very inconsistent. Like and then I don't even know what to write too much. Like, I guess, do I write a checklist? Do I write a summary? Is it a diary entry? Like, because I kind of, honestly, I feel like I need to start the Spartan Challenge all over again for this new chapter, because, yeah.
Okay.
Well, so as far as the working out, I just want to say one thing, that the best exercise program you're ever going to do is the one that you actually do. Doesn't matter what it is, just do it. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm going to say. Everybody else can tune in.
Yeah. I would add, take away that, I don't know where you got the idea that you have to do something in the morning, or that there's a structure to this shit, or that you have to follow everybody's lead on this. If you're an early riser, by all means, go in the morning for a nice walk. It could be an hour or so, and that's all you need, a nice stroll. Try to get a week worth of walks nonstop every morning. If you're a night owl, then maybe you go for a walk at night, and same thing, about an hour.
I do that too.
Baby steps, my friend. All you really have to do is like, okay, this week the goal is simply go on a walk every morning or night, or in the middle of the day, whenever it is that you have time. And now once you complete it 7 days, you go, okay, one day next week I'm going to do somewhat like a semi jog. I'll jog a little bit, couple minutes till I get really gassed out, and then keep walking, and that's it. And then the next day I'll jog for a little longer if I can. And then, but that's all you do. You just a little bit. Don't try to go like, okay, this morning I'm waking up at 5:30 on the dot and I'm going to go run 5 miles. It's like, it doesn't work that way. You build up to this shit. Yeah. Even when he was fat, he couldn't run. He was on the bike. He was cycling like a maniac in the beginning. And then he lost weight. And then he started doing a bit more impact exercise like running, because his knees could take it. But if you need a schedule to start all this shit, don't feel a need to follow everybody else's. You know how you are. You know how you feel, how much energy you got. Yes, in general, it's true. You work out in the morning. It typically sets the mood for the rest of the day and you feel great. But also you can work out at night and that sets the mood and you get really good sleep. There is no right or wrong answer here. Just starting is the correct answer, really, and being consistent. That's the key. So start light, man. Walks here and there, add a bit of jogging, do some body exercises at home, some mobility, stretching, stuff like that. Get your body used to moving and flexing and bending in different ways that maybe it hasn't, because you got the coder lifestyle. You know what I mean? Life's pretty chill. Haven't had to push the body to the max in a long time, but this is just a little process that you build up to. So now we're reaching into the journaling side, which is what I would recommend. Start with random thoughts, literally the stupidest shit that you're thinking. That's the way I do it. I sit down, I look at the paper and I write my thoughts out loud. And then it starts to, like, your brain starts to go in different places as you're writing the shit down. And I always have a goal that when I'm journaling, I remind myself what I'm trying to do, my actual goals. So my goal is to remind myself of my goals. It's a form of me crystallizing the man I want to become in my mind. So when I'm journaling, I'm saying, okay, after all the random jumbling thoughts are out of my brain, and I'm kind of at that point where I'm like, fuck, what do I write next? Like, there's no thoughts coming. Immediately is like, okay, cool. I got all the stupid, random thoughts out of my head. Who do I want to be? I always ask myself, what am I working for? Who do I want to be? What's the man I dream of becoming? And I have to always rewrite that shit down because you lose perspective every day in life. The fight you had with your parents, dude, that clouds the vision of who you want to be. You're stuck in the thick of it as you're arguing, as you're fighting, as you're dealing with those emotions. It's like putting glasses on, but you can't fucking see out of them. Every time you get into an emotional state like that, it puts a veil over the goals, the dreams, the stress, bro, makes you get like brain fog. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a battle you have every day. You have to remind yourself of this shit. That's the whole point of journaling, actually. It's like you need the daily reminder. You need to take time out of the day to slow down and really focus on what it is you're trying to do and who you're trying to become. That's really the goal of journaling. It's unwinding the threads of all the random thoughts, man, and being able to like think in a more linear, clean pattern that will put you step by step forward towards where you're trying to go. Instead of like every day you're waking up kind of, jumbled a bit. What do I want to do? Like, kind of, do I want to do that? That's kind of how you're in a state of flux like that. Like, you don't really know which way to go until anxiety is triggering you in a direction. Like, fuck, I really have to finish this. I've waited too long. Yeah. So that's essentially, you're in that kind of state right now. But what you're doing with journaling is reminding yourself who you want to be and like clearing all those thoughts and like really structuring them so that you can think more clearly. And then your brain will naturally start doing this. So that should be, again, your two simple goals when you journal. Remind yourself who you are, what you're trying to do, and why you're doing it. And then the next one is clearing out all the random thoughts you have throughout the day. Like, man, you may be stressing out because you got a phone call or a text from your mom. Your girl might be stressing and had to vomit some stress on you from her job, or shit's fucking going south with work, with money, whatever it is, man. You got to clear all that shit out. Your brain is like a computer, dude. The storage is full. Every day you got to clear that fucker out so you can be ready for the next day. If you don't attack that, you're gonna get that trash can full, dude, that when you reach in your brain and try to find a good idea or a good train of thought or something like that, it's like, fuck, you got to dig through so much shit. And that's essentially what we're doing, is clearing our brains daily. That's what it is. And exercise is one key, because we're biological machines. So, you're a coder, try to think of it this way. The biological machine will run better if you give it physical exercise, because it's like running a deep cleaning program on all your shit. It's getting rid of all the junk that you're not using, aka your body atrophying. You're forcing it to run like new again. It's reformatting the machine. Every time you exercise, that machine is reformatting itself. That's what it is. Building you muscle tissue, heart getting better, more blood is being pumped, all that shit, dude. Feeding it really healthy food. All of this is interconnected. Your diet affects the way you think too. Your diet affects your mood. Yeah, all the exercise, again, if it affects your mood, all this stuff. Yeah, look at that. He's got something. I don't know what he had there, but
those factor meals.
Oh.
Are those any good?
Meal plans.
I don't know. I think about trying it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have time to make it when I'm working 6 days straight, fucking, 16 hours a day. So.
But it's good. If you can't afford those shits, get them, because eating clean, man.
Oh, yeah, I can.
Yes. Good.
Just make sure to cook it in something that's not those plastic garbage tins they give you.
Yeah. Oh, when you heat it up.
Well,
yeah.
I'm kind of limited prison, so they don't let us have glassware and knives and shit. But, I'll do my best.
Get used to eating cold
when you're at home anyway.
Yeah. What is that?
Yeah.